Alright, with temperatures getting cooler and snow season approaching, it's time to start thinking about getting your winter machines ready to go. That way you're not scrambling when the first snowfall comes around. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the oil in my Toro SnowMaster, and I'm going to change the spark plug. So I'm going to show you how to do that and show you what products I use. Let's get started. So before I get any further into this, I just want to make sure to remind you to refer to your owner's manual for clear instructions on how to do things, what parts to get, what kind of oil they recommend, what kind of spark plugs they recommend. All that stuff is in your owner's manual. If you don't have the physical manual that came with the machine, you can find the manual online. And that's exactly what I did. I went on the website and it asks for the serial number, and so you can find the serial number just on the back of the machine on the bottom. Match up your serial number with the manuals that they offer and you're good to go. First thing I'm going to do is show you how to change the spark plug. We're going to pull this piece off, change the spark plug, and then I'm going to put some gas in the machine, start it up, warm it up a little bit, get that oil nice and warm so that it's easy to change. And we'll go from there. Alright, so to get at the spark plug, which this is the spark plug cable right here, you need to remove 6 screws. There's one here, one down here, and then there's 2 on the back right here, and then 2 on the opposite side there. So we'll go ahead and remove those, pull this off, and then we can get at the spark plug. So the next step here is just to remove the spark plug boot. It's just a housing that covers the spark plug. If you just wiggle it back and forth a little bit, don't be afraid to pull on it. It will break loose. There we go. Now when you remove the spark plug, you want to make sure that you use a special ratchet that is designed not only to fit the spark plug, but to put it on safely and securely. And these special spark plugs wrenches can be found at your local hardware store, and they have a little rubber gasket on the inside just to protect the porcelain on the plug itself from getting cracked or anything like that. So there's the old plug. You can see it's pretty well fried and it needs to be replaced. I've had this for a couple years now and I haven't replaced the spark plug yet, so this will be the first time this has been replaced, and I think it's due. So in the manual, Toro recommends either a factory spark plug or a Champion branded spark plug with the model number of RN9YC. RN9YC. So that's the one I'm going to use. That's the one I found at my local Home Depot. My local Home Depot does sell this exact snowblower. That's actually where I bought it initially. And so I expect to have parts there as well. So I went over there, found this. I'm going to use it. Let's put it in. Another important thing to remember with the new spark plug is that the gap needs to be set properly as well. And the manual recommends 30 thousandths of an inch. So I have this gap tool here. You can find this online. If I can find a link, I'll put it in the description. And it'll be super helpful to make sure that the distance inside that gap is as recommended by Toro. So we'll go ahead and see what we got here. Looks like that's what we want right there. Looks to be a little high. It looks just above 30 thousandths. If it's too high, you can just tap it on the ground And if it's too low, you can just kind of pry it up with this tool. Yep, that's right about where we want it. Alright, so the next step is the oil change, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put some gas in there and make sure that it starts with the new spark plug, and then just kind of run the machine for a few minutes to warm up the oil. That way it will drain a lot easier. Okay, so finished running the motor, everything's nice and warm now. Oil's gonna drain out much easier. There is a drain plug just underneath the motor there, which is really convenient. It's really nice. They do still recommend tipping the machine backwards to get that oil to drain out as much as possible. In thinking what I was gonna use to hold the front end of this thing up while I was draining the oil, I thought, why not use my Milorganite that I'm not using anymore? That will make a good stand and hold that up for me. Why not? So now I'm ready to go ahead and add the new oil. For my oil of choice, I'm using Mobil One's 10W30. This is the advanced full synthetic. I just looked for the synthetic formula. They just happened to have the advanced full synthetic on the shelf, so that's what I went with. So this is Mobil One 10W30 full synthetic oil. This will last me one season, maybe even two. It's been 2 seasons since I've even changed the oil, and the oil came out pretty clean. So I'll probably keep this in for a couple seasons even. Manual, again, refer to the manual. The manual says it takes about 20 ounces of oil, so I'm going to go ahead and put 20 ounces in there and just kind of check as I go just to make sure that I'm not overfilling. So while you have the machine out, if you're able to, it's another good thing to just check the tire pressure, make sure there's enough air in the tires, everything's ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that to finish things up. I'm really happy to have this machine. I almost said that I'm looking forward to using it, but I don't know if that's really the truth. I'm not really a fan of snow, but having this makes it much easier to manage. So if you haven't seen any of my videos on this before, check the links in the description, check those out. Hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.